Look at those boots. Look at those shoes. Ace, what do you think? Look at that, buddy. Good job. You got my old boot. Where are those boots? What have they seen? There's been a lot of stuff happen inside those boots. You know what, buddy? Maybe you'll get these one day after they're wore out. Yep. There's a lot of good mud on there. These haven't traveled down too many roads yet. But the one you got, wow, let me look at here. Hang on, you stay there. Oh, look, and you even got tissues inside. These boots, look, they're elf boots. Look at the toe curled up. I know it. You're just a good boy. Toes curled up. Look at this gash it's got on it. Let me see right here. See that gash right there? It's probably, who knows what that could have been from, right? But it looks like got some old stucco. Now, that was from my first ESP panel home. And back here, some more gashing. There's been in the water inside. So I've had boots that are way worn more than that. I'm going to let you chew on that because that's a good boot to eat. Now, most people won't give you boots because they're afraid you're going to eat all the shoes in the house. But you're kind of a special dog, and you only eat what I give you. Isn't that awesome? So everybody, see those old boots right there? These are brand new boots. You're going to say, what's he talking about these boots for so much? Well, you know what? I'm coming to you. This is Randy Jones with Incredible Tiny Homes. And that's out my window of this little office I'm in. And forgive me if I don't read your texts or your comments, but God, you guys just go ahead and comment all you want. But I'm in our world headquarters here in Newport, Tennessee. And I just had a thought that I wanted to come on Sunday morning. And I don't know if this will be a regular thing or not, but I wanted to come on and kind of talk to everybody about maybe where our company's going and give you some news that I'm not able to give you during the week because we got so much going on and so many homes we have to show. And so thought maybe I'd give you a little more in-depth report of the company, of maybe me, of what's going on here. And the reason I say that is because in the past, people that come here and seen what we've done, I mean, you don't want to do, hold on, everybody. I don't have, yeah, here it is right here. Oh, yeah, here you go. Now I'm going to turn around so y'all can see me. How's that? Can you see me? Is that good? Hang on here. Hey, did you wake up this morning like I did? It looked like a truck hit me, all right? So it is what it is. I'm going to back up here, and I'm going to take, this is the old boot, right? Now, this is my new boot. See all the mud on it I haven't taken off? Hey, Jesse. See there here? Jesse works for us here. He's hibernated over there in his little house, sitting on his couch up there in his loft, all cozy. All right, this is a new boot. All right, he's got my old boot. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm not going to be able to read your comments a lot because I'm kind of far from the phone, but I wanted to come on this morning and let me back up right here. I'm looking at myself so I can focus right here. All right. As you guys know, everybody has a story. Everybody has you live enough years on this earth. Everybody's got a story. I'm no more special than anybody else. I never thought I would ever be at this place where I would have this position where I could talk to people and maybe even have a feeling of responsibility too. I'm going to try to slowly walk you through who I am, who this business is, and where we plan on going. And then I hope by the end, when I get done talking, I hope that it gives you guys some encouragement to do something different with your life and to feel good about who you are and where you're going. All right. So today you'll be told how I feel inside, what I do about business, how I look at things, how I keep going on, and how I look at the future, how I look at getting older, how I look at looking at the past, and where we go from here, right? And all the stuff in between. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna get into all the specifics of it. And I don't feel like my story is any better, any bigger than anybody else. It's just that I had the ability to turn that phone on this morning and share. I've heard so many stories about so many people's lives. I was talking to Albert last night from Dallas, and he went home this morning, and I hope all he has a good trip back home. He built a beautiful home here, and he'll be back in a couple weeks, or about a month, I hope, to start another house. He's a great partnership. I'm looking forward to working with him. But he told a story last night about going across the Mexican border with an American. He smuggled American inside Mexico. And you wouldn't believe the drama that was involved in that. It was so funny. It was so exciting, right? And you know what? This is what he had a friend that he wanted to take to his family down in Mexico because they've got this 2,000 acre ranch that his grandfather has. And he told his friend, he said, I'm going to pay for the whole trip, get your passport, and I'm going to take you down there and I'm going to show you beautiful Mexico and all of my family and all that they eat. And we're going to hunt and fish and all this stuff. Well, his friend never got his passport. He said, don't worry about it. We're going to go anyway. So they get to the border, right? And they talk and talk. He offered him money to get him in, and he didn't have no passport. And the guy said, you know what? He said, you go on. He said, you're going to get caught anyway at your next checkpoint. So we're just going to get you out of here. And he said it was a miracle that happened. Well, they get there before the checkpoint, about 20 minutes before the checkpoint, and they stop over to go to the bathroom, let everybody out, and another bus comes in empty. Anyway, they swap buses, and they drive back through the other bus and hiding under stuff, and they make it. They make it back into Mexico. They get it all the way into his grandfather's ranch. When Albert left the United States to go into Mexico with his friend with no passport, and this was just not too long ago, right? He didn't know if he was going to make it or not. He didn't know the trouble they would get into. He didn't know how they were going to do it. It was just off the cuff and how it was going to make it, right? Now, you can call that young and dumb. You can call it whatever it is. But what's exciting about something like that is just not knowing something, and look at the story that's created. Look at the adrenaline and the excitement and all that come from him. Now, they weren't hurting anybody. And the main thing, he's an American citizen. They're just going to boot him back in there. But it still was embarrassing. It was hard. You don't know what Mexico is going to do to his friend. They'll finally get him back. But my point is that I think the most exciting and memorable times in my life, I know, is ones that I don't plan. And the ones that I don't have this beautiful laid out agenda for my life and for this. And I have found, and it's not for everybody, but I have found that, man, the less you plan, the less you know. Maybe you have a general plan. Hey, I want to be here financially, or I want to be here physically, or I want to move to this certain part of the country. But when you don't plan it completely right out, I think it's more relaxing. I think it's less anxiety. The word anxiety, I just learned a few years ago. I didn't know what anxiety was, all right? But apparently it's a thing. And I think the more that we plan, the more that we try to do perfect, and we don't reach those plans and goals, it builds that anxiety. I think it's just pressure you put on yourself. And then you become nervous, and then you become irritated, and then you become scared of the future, and you become scared that you're not going to succeed because you haven't hit all those levels. That happened to me this past week here at work. And I want to share with you, I am not I've never been a real detailed person. I can be, but I haven't been to where it's so pinpointed everything. I talked to the accountant this week about our money and about our business and that, and it seems very hopeful and how we're getting straight, how our numbers are climbing. He likes how we're doing and organizing everything. But I made a commitment at the first of the year that I wanted to make this company turn into the year of perfection. You guys have heard that. I know it may sound corny, but for me, it's a big deal. First time in my life, I've taken this beautiful business that's we've worked so hard to get here. It wasn't handed to us whatsoever. But I want to get it so perfect. I don't want people being disappointed in us. I don't want the homes taking forever to get out. I don't want people having quality homes not coming to them perfect or what they expected. I don't want one mistake. I don't want to have, a leak out here or a leak out there or wherever we're at. I want to hone this process in. We do beautiful homes. We build beautiful homes. There's mistakes that happen, and I want to alleviate those mistakes so much this year through a process that I hope to put together. Well, what I did is I had that process just ironed out. I knew everybody in this office where I wanted them to be. I knew what I wanted them to do and I wanted them to say and how they're going to get there. I could even tell you the words that I wanted them to use to get the job done. I could tell you where I wanted them to walk and step in every path through that warehouse and how to maneuver to get at the end of that day the success that I needed to take this company to perfection. I know that in my head. I didn't write it down because I thought it would overwhelm everybody. So then I was verbally trying to get that across of what I wanted to get done, and how I wanted to get there. Well, after about 4 days, really 2 weeks, it happened about 2 weeks. After that second week come on here, I realized I was being a little too intense. I was demanding things that just is going to take longer, it's going to take more time, and it's going to take people to actually learn to do what I need them to do. I have taken this company from zero, nothing by myself to this point. It's taken 5-6 years to learn every step and every scenario. And I got this game plan in my head that I can put in paper. For somebody to walk through the door and to know what to do, what I want them to do, it's really hard to do. So I was becoming super intense. I was becoming super, probably irritated, you might say. And I was losing my patience. And so about Wednesday night, I just woke up in the middle of the night and I thought, you know what? I need to back off. I'm not having fun. It's so serious about getting your all's homes to you. I am so devastated when I hear a customer not happy. Albert left here and he said, the biggest thing I love is when I see a homeowner love what I do. He said, it's more important than money to have a homeowner have satisfied. Us guys, most men, I don't know if you know this or not, but most men like to show off for their mom, right? You remember when you were a kid? Mom, look, look at me, watch me, mom, right? We're still that same way. And you guys just don't realize, most of our customers are ladies. Most of our customers are, 95% are ladies. And that's fine, it's good, but you know what? Us men building for you ladies, we are, believe it or not, we are wired to want to give you a beautiful home. Ace, what you doing, buddy? What you doing? Ace is digging in his bed. But that's what we are. We want you to say, oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Look at this. I love my home. And that's how I'm wired when I get your house. And when something happens or we do everything and it is perfect, and we run into personalities of people that cannot be satisfied whatsoever, wow, the drama, the level of intensity and the disappointment is just, Ace is digging in his bed. He's making a bunch of noise. But it's hard to get over that. It's hard to feel good about what you've done, and you want to feel successful. But when you have a customer that's not, and you know what I've learned, I know not everybody's going to be happy. Not everybody's going to be satisfied. And so that's where we're at. And so when I took that 2 weeks ago and I said, hey, we're going to have this level of perfection, your perfection, and I wanted to put it together, I made a decision that I'm not going to, I'm not going to reach that in the time frame in which I wanted to. And what was odd is Will was in here the other morning and he brought it up without me talking about anything. And he said, hey, boss, have you thought? And he shared, and I was so glad that he felt comfortable enough to share what he was feeling, Ace, come here, buddy. Come here. He is digging in his bed and making a lot of noise here. But he was able to share, and I'm glad that he felt comfortable enough to tell me how he felt about what was going on, because it was getting heavy. This is a heavy deal. We've got 40, 50 homes to build. We're trying to build 20 and 30 at a time. That's a lot of work, everybody. It's a lot of organizing. It's a lot of inventory. We've got a young man named Jonah that we're trying to teach to do our inventory. At the same time he's doing inventory, he's taking care of inventory, and we got helpers and forklifts and materials, and we're selling, and we got, there's a lot going on, especially with the ESP panel homes now taking root, and they're getting busy. Our communities here getting finished up, and the materials and labor that we need to put all it together, and then balancing all that to make sure we don't overspend or we're on time and in the quality. I love the challenge. I love what we're doing. And I see, like, the title of the show is, what are you scared of? What are we scared of? Where are we going? What's ahead of us? What's going on here? And for me, I've learned that through a lot of things, I need this outline. I just need an outline of where I'm going to go and what I want to accomplish. But when it gets to specifics, I think I like to do it off the cuff. I like to do it off the hip. Buddy, what you digging on? What you digging on? Boy, I got to get you off here. Hang on. Oh. You stay. He was digging on his bed. I had to get him out of there, all right? So this is live, and I got Ace here. Come here, Ace. Good boy. And, but what are we scared of? Where are we going? And why do we get this anxiety? And I really think that I've seen a few customers here, quite a few customers, that their anxiety comes from too much planning. It comes from too much thinking you want to be perfect, or you want these things to be just spot on, and when they're not, you're disappointed, and then it builds fear, and then you look around and you're thinking, hey, something I put my trust in is not looking like I had last time, and then you start thinking about what could happen, right? And I understand the threat. I understand of money. Everybody's scared of money, constantly not having enough. Is it going to last me? Where am I going to get any more? It's constant, right? My dad retired from the coal mines and from the steel mill. Believe it or not, he retired at 55, all right? 55 years old. And I'll never forget him retiring. And every year when I was a kid growing up, and this might have been a thing for a lot of people, but I was raised up north. Mom and dad moved from the south up there to work in the steel mill to give me a better life and them a better life. And every Christmas they'd borrow money. I didn't know it till I was grown. They would run a credit card and pay it off all year, run a credit card, pay it off all year. If he wanted a swimming pool, he'd borrow money, we'd buy a swimming pool. I had a swimming pool my whole life. We had the biggest pool in the entire neighborhood. We only had a little bitty neighborhood. It's probably 40 foot wide. He filled the whole thing full of pool. He loved swimming. I never remember not knowing how to swim. Water's been a big deal in my life because of him. But he spent money. Never had a savings. When he retired at 55, he may have had $6,000, $7,000 in the bank. No savings. And he said, well, I had a retirement from the steel mill and healthcare, right? After he retired, about 3 years later, the steel mill went bankrupt. Cut his retirement in half and no healthcare. So now he's 58, 59. He had to go back to work. And he went back to work at an RV store, right? Putting up ceiling fans and campers down in Florida that was, 110 degrees inside. He loved it. I never heard him complain ever. Ever complain. He never complained that he didn't have any money, that he didn't have any, insurance anymore, and he didn't have retirement. And this guy's only got $7,000, $8,000 to his name, right? He just went to work, come back home, did it. Turned 62, drawed his Social Security. He said, I'm not waiting 65, may not live till they that long. So he just went ahead and drawed it. Lived to be 95 years old. Lived to be 95. Got to travel all over the United States. Lived in an RV the best years of their life for 13 years. Ended up living on top of a mountain of a home that I built for them. And at the time when he retired, I was a boy. And I was in my young, late teens, early 20s. And they didn't have any insurance that I was going to provide for them. They never even thought about that. It was like, yeah, right. Kids don't provide for them. And after I got older and got more established, I did help them, but I really didn't help them much. I gave them a home, that I built for them because I wanted them to live on this mountain. My dad never had a savings. He never had guarantees of money ever. And I've never, ever, ever heard him talk about worrying about money. Not one time have I in my entire life heard him say, I'm concerned about money. You know what? And I just thinking of that. He never worried about it. And he always had it. You know, and I think about us living in the United States. We live here, right? I think in the richest country, they say, I don't know, we're maybe being down the last country, you know, but there's so much opportunity here. I never worry about myself having money. I worry about everybody else having enough money, right? But for me, I'm never concerned about retirement, that I'm not going to have a place to lay down if I get old and I can't walk anymore. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that I have a car that I need to drive or have shelter over my head. I don't know why, I just don't. I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to think about it. We live in the greatest country. I don't see that happening, you know? So, and I may be out, if I am and I'm living under a cardboard box or some newspapers, I think I'm going to be fine because I'm good with who I am in life and what I've experienced, and I'm trying to live every single day to my fullest capacity, right? So if you take my dad's thinking of not ever worrying about finances, and he was always provided for, right? Not just by me. He took care of himself, and they adjusted their lifestyle. He didn't have anxiety. He didn't have fear. I never seen my dad scared of nothing. He just wasn't. And I think it wasn't that he was a brave man. I believe that he just took life as it came to him. And he adjusted his life with what he had, and he wasn't inconvenienced by much. You know, if he had a lot, he could enjoy it. If he had little, he could enjoy it. And that's really probably, when I think about it, and I'm just thinking about this right now, it's really something I think that this has come on to me through osmosis of being around that person and never knew that it was part of who I am too. So this ride that I'm on in this journey that has responsibility of building homes for people, guests, you know, customers that come here and buy homes, I have a big responsibility to provide and take care of your finances. Believe me, when you give me your life savings, I feel it. And I've had other people tell me, I just gave you my life savings. Like they're putting that pressure on me. They want to remind me of that. I'm coming on today to tell you, if you can get inside this head, the amount of pressure that I put on myself knowing that I've taken your money is unbelievable. It takes my hunger away. It puts pressure on this office. That is why I'm so intense, and so I'm here this year of perfection. That I don't want that pressure anymore. I want guarantees. I want to make sure that when you buy a home from me, it is the best possible that you can do. I don't have investors. I don't have shareholders. I don't have banks. I don't have anybody coming here and saying, hey, if you had $1 million, Randy, could you set that whole business up where it would just be like clockwork, like an Elon Musk, factory, and everything's digital and everything's just perfect? Yep, I could, but I don't have that. So I have to work my way up to that. And if I don't watch it, I'll lose my joy in building this because I want all this, but I can't get there. So it's like you got the motor to make it happen. You know you got the gas to make it happen, but you don't have the road, right? And I have to build that road to get there. If I could hire the road already built and I would do it. But for some reason, this is the journey I'm on. If you guys think about it, 5 years ago, I was in the backyard by myself, building a house, and now we're building hopefully close to 200 homes in a year, and 40, 50, 60 people involved in this whole thing. That's not monumental. I mean, a lot of companies have done a bunch more than that, but for little old me, that's a pretty good deal for me. And to take all that responsibility on is a bunch, right? I come on live here. I don't know what anybody's saying. I'm sorry, I can't see your comments, but I want to just tell you, and I always say our address, 850 Industrial Road, Newport, Tennessee. You want to come here and you want to talk to me, you want to see the real deal. I had somebody, and I thought it was a beautiful thing. A customer actually called the mayor, called the sheriff, called the people around here and wanted to know if we were real. I mean, I might be in a basement right now, and this could be a green screen behind me, right? And I could be fake as they come, but I'm not.
and I'm the real deal. So I come here this morning just about a little bit of encouragement to say, hey, let's relax in this time of this world is changing and it's going crazy and there's really no foundation to put your life on. If we could just relax and realize what's the foundation we really have, and it's who we are as people. Just relax and don't think about the future. Don't think about planning so much. I know we can't, we got to plan our money a little bit. We got to be on a budget, and you just don't go out and spend stuff and all that. You don't just, randomly walk across, a 4-lane highway in your underwear. You just don't do that. But think about it, everybody. Just relax. We live in the greatest country there is. Believe in who you are and where you came from. You may have, none of us are pretty enough. None of us are strong enough. None of us are smart enough. None of us are good enough. Some of the most gorgeous people in the world think that they're ugly. Some of the smartest people in the world think they're stupid. And why that is, I have no idea. Is our crazy moms and dads that raised us, or is it our life that we've lived and the situations we've been in, the awful, awful situations that people have lived through? It's just devastating what people can do. But now that the smoke is cleared and who you are, and maybe your life is quiet now, and you got to just gather yourself and realize now tomorrow's another day, and we got to keep pressing forward. But don't plan your day like I did a couple weeks ago. Don't plan it so hard that bar is set so high that when you don't get it, you are a pain in the neck to be with. You don't have any joy, you don't have any fun, and you're not having any, you're going to lose all your friends, right? So I wanted to just tell you, when I showed you these boots and that mud, and look, I haven't cleaned them. That's what I mean about it. I'm so focused on what I'm doing. I grabbed my boots, brought them in here, and set them under my desk. I didn't clean them off. I didn't hose them. I don't have a water hose out here, so I can hose off every time I come in from the mud. And I'm organized where I have all this, all this stuff looking good. Like, look here. You see the office? Okay, there's my shirt laying there. There's my personal tax papers. I got to do my income tax. There's my notes, my letters. There's files, stuff here. I got Ace. Look, he's tearing the place apart. Say hi, Ace. Okay. All right. That's what I think I mean by not being specific about things. Now, I'm specific about money, about your money, about our homes, our materials. We are dead on with what we have to do. And that's the biggest thing that we have. All this other stuff, to me, doesn't create anything. Only thing that I want is to create commodity, a home, and a structure to where we can make this company go and give you a beautiful home. These little details about all this, somebody said one time, hey, go in somebody's car and see what it looks like, and that'll tell you the kind of person they are. Well, if you go in my car right now, or my truck, it is a disaster. I got pistachio shells on the floor. I got my clothes stowed in the back. I've never washed my car. I never clean it. I never vacuum it. To me, it's a tool. I get in, I go store, I come home, and I don't think about it. I look at my mileage, say I got to get some oil changed, and I get it done. I'm not into that. I'm into building homes. I'm into focused on what I have. I have a laser focus of what I want to get done here. And that's my life right now. There's a season, I think, in our lives that we come through. Many seasons, chapters in a book, seasons, whatever you'd like to do. My season is this right here. My season is, my mentality is probably the on point more than it's ever been in my life. Physically, I'm still good. I feel great. I feel good and strong. Of course, I'm not 25 years old, but I still feel that I can take on things. My emotional status, I think, is real good. I'm steady, and I understand where I've been. I understand why I'm where I'm at. I've had a place in my life where I've accepted things, and I don't let it bother me anymore. And I'm actually at a place now where I don't hold guilt about things that I wasn't able to do, and I wasn't able to come through with. And so now I'm at almost like a new, fresh starting point, because I've cleared out the slate, and because of you all believing in our company and the responsibility that I have to build this company, and the excitement that I have for the men and women that work here, the unbelievable task that it took to get to this point is just a really cool American dream story, And I'm just one of the many, many, many American dream stories. I feel proud that I fit into that category of the millions of American dreams that came here. The people that come across the ocean back in the 1900s that were, that from other countries, and they started their American dream, and they started the companies, and they did all these things, right? I feel like I'm part of that. I feel like I'm an immigrant that came here and took the opportunity of what was given us in this country, and I'm going with it. Where this country goes from there, I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to think about any kind of government and administration and laws and taxes and none of that stuff. I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to do the best I can with what is given me. And listen, we have got some things against us here. We got taxes that we're worrying about. We've got laws that are being implemented in us. We've got some roadblocks. We've got some barriers that we have to get around and go over. And it's going to be hard for us this year and the coming years to come ahead in this company and in this industry. So I see storms coming on the horizon, but I'm going to barrel right into that thing. Did you guys ever see Forrest Gump? All right. Probably, now, there's a lot of good scenes in Forrest Gump, but the one big scene that probably meant more to me after I lost the resort, right? I lost my resort, marriage, everything gone, and my boys weren't with me and all this stuff. And remember Captain Dan? And he lost both of his legs. And Captain Dan was on the boat with Forrest Gump. And Captain Dan went to the top of the mast, right? And he strapped himself and he latched him, roped him, everything. And he just rode that hurricane out on that mast, right? And he was just yelling. He said, "Is this all you got? Is this all you got? Bring it on." He was screaming at God, right? Screaming at God, "Bring it on. Just give me more, give me more, give me more." And he was facing his fear. He was facing who he was. He was facing every calamity that could come on. He was facing his past. He was facing everything. And I didn't think about it then. But man, when I went through all this stuff, these last 3 or 4 years, 5 years and getting here, oh my God, I'm Captain Dan. I'm there. Tie me to that thing. I screamed out to the world. I screamed out to Satan, if there is a Satan. I screamed out to bad guys, my past. And I said, bring it on. I'm not going to be scared of nothing anymore. I'm not going to be scared of money. I'm not going to be scared of customers or life or future or feeling guilty. I'm not going to be scared anymore. You got to stop being scared. You got to be Captain Dan. You got to ride that hurricane out and you got to say, bring me your best shot. Hit me as hard as you can because I'm going to be better off when I'm done. And that's what it's about. Life's never going to be easy. If you wake up every morning and say, "Oh, boy, I hope today I don't hurt. I hope today nothing goes bad. I hope today goes beautiful," you done lost. You done lost. You got to get up and say, bring it. Hit me. I mean, hit me hard, And when you get through that hit, God, you come out the other side a whole better person. And this is for men, women, children, and everything. And I know a lot of our kids are suffering because they don't know how to hurt. It's not a pain that's going to last forever. It's just a discomfort. It's like me standing here, right? Well, maybe my back's hurting a little bit, right? I wish I could sit down. That's a pain that people won't persevere through. Albert works here with a wrist guard on. His right hand, his dominant right hand, hurts constantly, him swinging a hammer. But he's been here 7 weeks and he still works. That's a pain that you persevere through. My mom wakes up every morning. It takes her 30 minutes to get all the aches and pains out of her. She's 95. But she's still doing working out. She's still working her legs. She's still working her arms. And it takes her and she cries and she moans and she complains. But about 30 minutes later, all the oil's going and juice and flowing and she's better off. But she could stay in the bed and not do it. So take that hit and feel the energy that comes from owning that hit and knowing you got through it. You may have pain, chronic pain every day of your life, and I feel so sorry for you. But you're stronger than all of us put together. You really are. And there's just so much pain and hurt in this world that I know that I don't even have a clue of what the level of that is. And me coming, it's embarrassing for me to come and just say, hey, keep going. But you know what? I'm going to do it because I don't want anybody ever to feel sorry for me. The worst thing I hate was when somebody says, oh, just take the day off and just rest or go lay down or do something. No, I want somebody to tell me, get your butt up, get your shoes on, get out there and let's go. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear that you can do it. You're strong enough. Even though you're bleeding, your one leg's hanging off and your eyeballs hanging out of your head. Keep moving. Don't you stop. Don't stop, And that's how I want to be. So You know, in all the years that I've been growing up, and you guys have heard my story, and we all have this cool story. We all have a story about where we're from and how we got to this point. But I think a lot of people can't put their story into words that makes sense, or you want to get out your story in a way that is motivating or understanding for other people. You know, my dad was a big storyteller. He told me so many things about growing up in the mountains of Kentucky. And my dad was my dad offended everybody. I got relatives that don't want to talk to me or don't want to ever talk to him. We've never been close to our family. Dad offended everybody. Lord knows what he's done, what he said. You know what? But he's my father, and I loved him, and he's gone now, right? And I learned a lot from him. Didn't know I learned a lot from him. And we all have these stories, but when he was telling me about him being a boy in Kentucky and being poor and no shoes for most of the year, snow blowing in on his bed. You know, I remember one thing he said, everybody'd always come to him. He was up in Detroit, and he'd love his air conditioning and I love, the modern things of life. And somebody said to him, boy, I'd love to have the good old days. You know, I wish the good old days, or we'd have on a wood stove and cooking beans on the stove and had, we could heat with wood. My dad said, you can have your good old days. He said, I love the days I'm in right now because I'm not cold and I'm not hungry and I'm not barefoot. I don't want your good old days, right? And I never thought about that until later on, and I thought about his life and how hard. And you know what? That generation, everybody lived like that. I was reading a book, and over in Austria in the turn of the war in 40s, everybody heated with wood. Everybody was cold. Everybody was hungry. This world was a hard place to live, And so for Dad to see that, now older I got, I realized how much he'd come from, and how he appreciated what we had. He never looked back. So let's don't look back today, everybody. Let's look at what we have, and let's not be scared of the future. Let's not be scared of your money situation or your health situation. You try to do both. You try to help yourself money. You plan your life. You eat better. You exercise a little bit that you can. And you try to every day just do a little bit better, a little bit better. There'll be a setback and you do a little better, but you're growing and you're doing better. And you know what? That's what I think that in my mind, and it's in my mind that these communities here, the people that come here, I hope that that's a spirit that will be generated in this community. I hope it's a spirit of growing and getting better and not being negative and not being drama, in a negative way. I really hope so, because if that becomes that way, it won't be a fun place to live here, and it won't be nice. And I hope it's a special place. I hope it's different than anywhere in the country, that when people come here, no matter if you have a person that's just super negative and a person that just can't say anything nice, that maybe we overwhelm them with goodness. We overwhelm them with positive things. And maybe they're suffering from anxiety because they're doing them detailed planning and they can't reach their daily or weekly, monthly, or yearly goals, and they're frustrated with everything and they're frustrated with everybody else. And there's a lot of negative people like that. So hopefully this place, by me talking like this, and maybe it gives a spirit about what's going to happen. So I want to push that out there, if there is any such thing, that I'm going to say, you know what? I want Newport, Tennessee to be so different, and these communities to be so different. And I want to bring an energy to this whole East Tennessee area that I think we're getting people from all over the country moving here. You understand that? There's like nobody from Tennessee moving here. And with that said, we don't want any of your outside politics or anything to come here. We come here because we want Tennessee. We want the no state income tax. We want the leniency on burning wood and doing what we want to do. We want this type of life and what their government and what their people and what their culture has. We don't want to change it. We want to morph into it, right? We want to morph and we want to be East Tennessee, right? That's what we want to be. I came here 30 some years ago because my family was born here. My family from 4 or 5 generations back. And now I'm finally back here, and I raised my boys here, and I brought them as a generation to be a part of this culture. Is it perfect? Nope. Is there a lot of things wrong with it? Probably, just like anywhere else. But it's home. And it's so much home that I wanted to bring everybody here to see the beauty of this place, right? And so we've got these communities that you guys can come here and be a part of what's going on. And hopefully through this lifestyle, through maybe my dad's lifestyle, because he was an East Tennessee and Kentucky boy, and the laissez-fairness, but the persevering and just the simple-mindedness really brings a lot of peace into someone's life, you know? So when we were doing the communities, in my mind, I never thought we would have them, right? This is an industrial park. I never thought they would come about, like you've heard me talk about. We've got 3, the forest, the beach, the prairie. There's 159 people coming here. All the lots are spoken for. $200 a month. You can live for less than $500 a month here. All right, you pay $200 and maybe another $75 to it. Let's say $100 for your water, power, sewer, whatever you got to do on there. So it's $300, and then you got some food for a couple $100 a month, right? So you can get between $500 to $700 a month and live. That's amazing. Where can you go do that? Most lot rents are $500 to $800 a month. So, with that said, I hope it generates a real security, less anxiety, and it breeds a spirit of wanting to give, wanting to be happy, and wanting to be positive, right? Because of the financial burden is gone and it's gone. There's been people talk about my dog running around here with no leash, and I apologize for that. There's been a lot of drama and gossip about me and about who I am and what I do and where I go and what I don't do and all that. And it really bothers me a lot. And I have to really hide and just stop and think and not let it come to me, because I've never had that before in my life, ever. I haven't been in a subdivision since I was a kid. And when I was a kid, I never heard anything. I didn't care what people said. And the only reason I'm even thinking it now is because social media is so strong. And so whatever spirit comes off of drama and gossip about me or this company, I'm afraid, because I've got so many people relying on me. I got so many people working here that need a job. And because so many people get in social media, it's really strange how people believe somebody's comments with no validity or any kind of evidence to back anything up. But I can't stop. I can't help it. So I've really learned to deal with this, right? I've learned to say, hey, that's why I don't read comments. I don't get on Facebook. I don't get on my own Facebook, and I barely ever see my messenger. I've got a little app, and if you message me, I may not get to you for a week, because I can't fill my mind with it. I want to stay positive. I want to stay focused of where I want to go and what I want to do. And I really want to be able to always know that I care about people, and I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that sense that I believe all people are innately good. And I don't want to lose that, even though, so when somebody tells me, did you hear what they've said about you? Or they said about your dog, or they said about your company, I really tell them I don't want to hear it. Just don't even tell me about stuff, right? Because you know what? I want to think about building a tiny home up on a big platform overlooking the mountains. I want to think about what I can do with this pond out here to make it prettier and build a covered bridge over it. I want to think about this little European village I want to build on top of this concrete, and how we want to have gardens and greenhouses and the beach and bamboo, and I want to have fun, and I want to see people run their dogs in the dog park that I want to put in there. I want to see all that. So if I fill my head full of a bunch of drama, it sucks the life out of me, it sucks the life I know out of you. And I just don't know how you guys get on these forums and what I've heard and talk and argue and go. It's just exhausting, So I hope that when we have these communities here, I hope more people are face to face, right? You meet face to face and you talk. I would so much rather have somebody get right up in my face and tell me how they feel. I've had so many people that have been mad at me for maybe disappointing them or not giving them what they wanted, right? And then on an email, it's just out of control. But when I get them face to face, it's all different. Everybody melts. It almost comes immediate conclusion, done, and everything works out. because we're face to face. You see my emotion, you see who I am, I see who you are, and everything seems to become better. And when you send an email or you send a text or you send any kind of thing on a social media forum, you're sitting in a room by yourself and you're working yourself up into a frenzy, and you believe that you have this ability, and you think that your words are better than stronger than everybody out there, and that the world needs to hear your opinion. Well, it doesn't need to hear your opinion, and it pretty much don't ever need to hear your opinion, nor mine. What it needs to hear is, you're awesome. The people are awesome. And we need to spread love. And we need to spread joy. And we need to spread what do you need to help? What do you need from me to help you be a better person or build a better house? Or what can I do for your company? What can I do for your home? What can I do for your community? Instead of saying, put your dog on a leash, call the pound, haul him off, put him down, kill him, whatever that is, right? No. Hey, send me a bunch of leashes in my door, hang them on my doorknob. And I do apologize for Ace being that way. When I got here, I work all the time, and I'm in the office, I'm back and forth, and I go in and out of the office a lot. And so I don't have the time to walk my dog like you all do 3 and 4 times a day. I don't have the time to do that. And when I get on a bike, I like to let him run, and so he'll run. He's actually been doing pretty good here the last 3 weeks as I've honed him in. And so when I walk with him, I talk to him constantly without having a leash. And he's following me really well. He's coming and going. So I do apologize for not being able to have my dog constantly obeying the rules. I'm not a rule guy, everybody. I will break my own rules, all right? I'm not that kind of person. I don't walk the line of everything checked off. It's just the way I am. I free wheel a lot of stuff. That's the way I like to live. And back to the beginning of this whole video, and I'm going to let you go here shortly, but I don't line my life out. I like to not know what's ahead of me. I don't want to know everything tomorrow. I don't want to be prepared for everything. I want to have excitement. I want to have that unknown tomorrow when I walk through this door. What the heck is going to happen? It's going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? I just want to make sure that I'm wired enough in my head, I'm strong enough in my body, and I'm strong enough spiritually and mentally and emotionally to handle whatever comes my way, right? The electrician left out of here the other day. His daughter broke her leg, snapped it right in half. He ran out of here like a crazy man. Things like that can happen and are happening right now as we speak. So our job is just to prepare yourself as best you can, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So get you a pair of boots, everybody. Get you a pair of boots. Get them muddy. And when they're muddy, don't worry about cleaning them. Just let them sit there, and when you look back, when that mud's all dried up, and you can go and you can look at it, and you can say, you know what? That's a memory of where I walked and what I was thinking about when I was in that, right? That's a memory. Don't be so concerned with the little things. And just remember, the main thing that we need is to love each other. And I know it's hard, and it's not easy. I'm hard to love. Other people are hard to love. It's just the way it is. But we have to keep trying and put a smile on our face. I sent a letter out the other day, and I'm looking around for that quote. Oh, it's in the bathroom. And you guys know, I use that quote all the time. It's not, life's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? You just got to know that. It's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. And it's not how hard you can hit, but it's how hard you can get hit and get back up and keep going, right? And that's what it's all about. I'm not perfect. I'll fall down tomorrow and I'll be a wreck. But I'll get back up and I won't feel guilty, and I'll try again, and the people that care about me and love me will forgive me and go on. Just like I do these guys in here. They'll yell and scream, they'll say offensive things, or they'll do something, whatever. But you know what? We're brothers and we're sisters, and we forgive each other, and we say, come on, let's make it happen, right? And that's what we have to do. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal at no means whatsoever. If anybody, I'm probably the hardest person in this world that Randy deals with, because I'm hard on myself, you know. But I'm learning to, like I said, I've come to a point where I've learned who I am. I learned about what I want to do, but I still have that unbelievable state of mind that says, hey, I can still make it. I can still shoot for the stars, and I can still be something that I don't know what's coming, you know? And I think that's exciting. All right, everybody. So this is my Sunday morning report. I wanted to tell you, I wanted to encourage you. I wanted to tell you more about who I am as a company owner and where this company is going and what we're doing. And I know I didn't give you specifics about the next development or the next structure, or the next model, or the pricing, or any of the amenities. And I may do that if I come on again next Sunday, and I'll forewarn you and give you guys a heads up and say, hey, subscribe. You can hear the notification button. But I really do like coming on, and I want to give my personal viewpoint of the week that we just had. Maybe continue to do that and tell you where we're going a little bit. And not everybody's going to want this, because I'm not walking through a tiny home and entertaining anybody. I'm just sharing you with who I am and where this company is going, and if you want to invest in it. There's so many aspects. I'm so excited about where this company can go and what it can do. The sky's the limit. And there's so many fun things to do. I'm not just building tiny homes. We're building lives. We're building communities. We're building guys and girls that work here, and all the things that come from that, from tree houses to stilt houses to hobbit houses to you name it, from California craftsman homes. And the imagination is just off the charts of where all this can go. And that's exciting for me. I still enjoy building homes. I still love swinging a hammer. That's who I am, and I'm so glad that I've found something that gives me joy, that I love what I do, you know. Retirement is not in my vocabulary. It won't be there. It never will come. This is what I'll take to the grave, is I'll just work at something. May not be this forever, but it'll be something that I won't stop at. All right. I hope what I've said encouraged you to go on today. It's raining out here. It's a gloomy day. I love clouds. I love rain. I love everything, because right behind them clouds is a big old sunshiny sky, right? And if you can be happy in the rain, see how much happier you can be when the sun shines, right? So everybody, thank you for a beautiful Sunday morning. I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday, and I hope whatever I said maybe encourages you a little bit, and realize that we're all part of this thing and you're not alone, all right? And remember, embrace discomfort as much as you can, because as soon as you understand that it's going to be uncomfortable is when you start feeling real joy. All right. Anyway, that's my philosophy. You guys may not agree with that, but that's how I feel. Ace, and he's ready. Let me show you Ace here. Oh, buddy, look here. What do you think, buddy? Look, he's all ready to go. You ready to take a walk? All right. Everybody, have a great Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. I may be back next Sunday. I'll give you a couple hours, the night before. I may give you a heads up so you guys can tune in, and I'll have some more information for you. And who knows what I'm going to have? I may have a guest on here. I may talk about nutrition. We may talk about health. We may talk about mountains. We may talk about bugs, snakes, rivers, you name it. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but and it may not come on in May. So guys, I don't like to plan anything. So hang in there. If you really want to know, subscribe to our channel at YouTube, and then you guys will be able to know you can go on this crazy ride, what we're about to bring. All right. It's a crazy ride, and I'll share as much as I can with you. All right. Have a great day. I'm going to try to turn this thing off, Ace. Let's see. Where's the button on here, buddy? Let's see here, buddy. All right. We're going to flip the camera around. What do you think, bud? Look at this place. Oh, and that's not a beer keg. I don't think. I don't know what it is. Have a great day, everybody. Look, there's the blue skies that's come through. See ya.